Hi, everyone. Today is March the 1st, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. My name is Anne-Marie Band, and I'm super happy that you're watching this because I made it for you. My favorite thing to do is interact with traders, and I want to welcome all the new folks that have popped onto the Benzinga Pro platform. That is really exciting to see you in the chat there. Remember that you can ask me things and about specific charts, and I will get to them and pop them up for you in the way that I look at things. As a quick review, remember I use volatility bands and trend to tell me what's going on, but price is the most important thing. And yesterday we had a giant run up into the close. It surprised everyone. So what I want to talk to you about is why things surprise us. And things surprise us because we have an expectation of what's going on, and all of a sudden that expectation gets broken. So what I want you to remember is the following. Price action will tell you what future price action is most likely to do in the very near term. And so we have been in a buy the dip formation for, I don't know, a month of Sundays. And what we just did, day before yesterday, was come into a mean reversion. And so I spoke about this in yesterday's video. Sorry about blowing that raspberry there. It's just kind of a kid thing that I just never stopped doing. Anyway, so that pullback there was old resistance, new support, and this moving average, which if some of you would like to know what it is, it's an EMA 8 and a 21. So not super fast, right? Fast enough, but good for us. And so we notice the pullback into the 8th. We notice the steep motion. And so if we come in without bias, we can say, you know what? This is a buy the dip formation. So if I hold my opening tick, I'm going to keep going up until I stop. Now, I had the feeling that this was going to be this kind of day. And so I did not put on one of the ordinary iron condors that I would normally put on. And we just had a slurry of data. Let's see what happened in that slurry of data. Let's see who it was. Thomas Barkin is speaking. We had PMI, ISM, PMI. No, we don't have anything until 10 o'clock. Where did I get that we had already had some news? But in any case, 8:30 saw us having a spike at the end of 8:30 and now a fade. So take a look at what the traders are trying to do here, right? The traders are in this wide range and they are trying their guts out to get higher, but they're having a little trouble. What's the storyboard today? It's buy the dip. Until what, Anne-Marie? Until we lose the pre-market low, try to recover it, and it fails. That's all we have to look at. We have to estimate that that's what's happening. Now, if you say to yourself, I like the range. I'm going to trade this range from top. I'm going to short into the bottom, from bottom into the top. I'm going to go long. So that would have initiated short at the third volatility band, right? Something came up at 8:30. Look at that spike, right? Third volatility band, which is very, very unique for SPYs. And so here we go in the short. What do? At the VWAP, you want to cover your position by half, but you don't move your stop in because the market is sideways. So just realize that you're sitting in a space that could bounce, could continue, because longs are going to come in here at the 21 exponential moving average into the heavy congestion that we see here. And they're going to go, you know what? I'm buying that band. Now notice, see how price action is up above the VWAP and into these volatility bands? It clearly tells us that we are in a buy the dip formation. Once we lose the middle of the band and we start creeping into these spaces, it tells us to sell the bounces. And that's how we can look at volatility bands from a picture perspective. All right, I took a really long time showing you all of that in SPY. Let's just jump into the numbers. Just gave you the SPY numbers. Let's look at the Qs. First, from a daily perspective, still neutral to bullish. Below or near the close, 439.48. We're just above it, right? Prior up day, good grief. Forgot to do my grain, good grief. I think I did it on the futures and forgot it on these. So here's what we're looking at. Still the same sorts of things from upside pressure. 437 is now that old resistance that's become new support, but I'm going to leave it there so that you'll see that maybe the next line up, which let's do Fibonacci, right? Let's do this wave. 1 and 2, right? What's that Fibonacci give us? 450. Let's do the halfway point here. That looks like my eyeballs. 443, something like that. That might be our upshot. Who knows? But what we do see is buy the dip still in force, right? Still in absolute force. The range is, well, say range is a little bit tighter, but it is what it is. Buy the dip. So you're going to look for the dip and you're going to buy that dip. Here it is, dip. Look at how sideways the vol band is, right? That tells you you're in a range, probably some digestion after this monster move to the upside, right? I'm going to draw this line here as that breakaway formation for 440, and we can see old resistance as new support at 437.85. All right, let's jump right into the futures. There's a ton of stuff to look at here. From a daily perspective, this is still not broken the absolute high, but grinding higher. And these higher lows tell us pressure is coming in from the buy the dip. We could have ourselves a little bit of a blow off top, but right now, traders are digesting this move. They're just digesting it, and we'll see what happens. You know, Fridays tend to be very bullish, and so that's what we'll look for, buy the dip. Now notice, look at what just happened here. We are spending as much time above the vol band as below the vol band, which is also telling us that we have a potential sideways action event that's going to come up into the day. Now, anything could change, and our momentum is very high, right? 5101, going to be that sort of line in the sand. We could go anywhere between way down here and way up here. Just do simple as a simple does. Where am I? What did the last 3 candlesticks do? If they generally made higher highs and higher lows, then buy the dip is what I want to do. And the volatility bands will help keep you on the right side of the trade. Let's take a look at the NQ. The NQ looks a wee different, right? Ticked a new high. I think it was 18,163, something like that, right? And it is above the close of the prior day. So tech is, still running the show. 80.29 seems to be the support zone. Let's take a look at the volatility bands. Maybe put our lines in focus. Again, sideways bands. Are they waiting on that 10 o'clock motion? I'd be flat into the 10 o'clock. Of course, you'll see me on the Zoom at 11:30. And if you're looking for me enter that time and you're interested in the futures market, you can find me on the Place Your Trades Discord. That link is sitting inside of the writing underneath this video, or you can find me on Topstep, the Topstep Discord, also noted, right? Ask questions, any of those platforms. You can find me mostly in where it is that I love to focus intraday, and that is in the futures. All right, sideways action. Here we are, floor 18 and 29. Ceiling, 18 and 62. Either of those can break. Watch your momentum. This is buy the dip, right? This is William Blau. It's a 333, 70-30. EMA, absolutely love it. It is truly one of the most lovely indicators on TrendSpider. All right, let's go to the RTY. See who else is sitting around. I don't have notes on the RTY, but I do have the lines in focus. You can see this thing is still, it gave every bit of its move up straight down, and it did not participate in the negative delta event. All right, so that in itself is really what we want to look for here. These guys are waiting on the interest rate. The biotech conferences are largely over. I think there might be 1 or 2 left, but that's it. Them and regional banks are the powerhouses for the RTY. So you want to be careful to watch those, see what you want to do. All right, let's take a look at the YM. YM, interestingly, also in the same kind of space. Take a look at it. It is still bouncing off of the reversion to the mean trade, right? Still making higher lows. I know those candles are very small, but you can see that it's nowhere near its prior high. And as a matter of fact, it's bouncing into lower highs and then pulling back. foreign divestment appears in the Dow first. That's where generally, if you are a foreign investor, foreign retail investor, your folks are going to go, hey, listen, let's just go to the Dow. All right. And we don't see any motion moving in here just yet. But when we do, / if we do, that is how this is going to rocket. Okay. And it could be relative to interest rates as well. So this is what we're looking at, range-based formations. We've got the levels up there. I know some of us like to trade the YM because it's a quiet girl, and she just moves in general spaces that are not so alarming to you. If you are learning to trade futures, I love the YM. And you know what? I'm going to talk to Robert on the Strategy Lab today on Topstep TV. We're going to talk about this particular instrument and how we can trade it. So if you're interested in that, you can see us on Topstep TV at 2 o'clock. All right, let's go to oil. Good grief, I'm up to the 13-minute mark. Oil is in a breakout formation. Take a look, right? Bullish action coming right into the top here. Listen, it's got a little bit of negative divergence. So my thought is we'll have a blow off top into that 10 o'clock number, perhaps, and then we'll dribble around here in the space. But the buy the dip came at the retest of 78, and this chart is still running to the long side. And so that's what we want to look for here. Look at the volatility bands really expanding. Ton of upside pressure still sitting. But this is the fantastic thing about this Blau indicator. This double smooth stochastic. The moment that it starts creeping up into 80, the chart starts to quieten, and the big move is likely done. So pullbacks into support are going to be the next line of action. Lastly, let's take a look at gold. Are we in the one? No, not here yet. All right, here is gold. It's been mirroring Bitcoin in a very bizarre way. Mirroring Bitcoin, but yesterday, super interesting on, again, Topstep TV, John Hoagland was talking about all the negative momentum that was sitting, the negative delta, excuse me, all the negative delta sitting here at the 2054 area, and price action was holding steady. And so, no, that's not right. It was the tilt on Topstep X, that trading platform that gave us the tilt that was very, very skewed to the short side. And indeed, once it recovered that 2053 area where that skew was sitting, it rocketed for 10, 12 points. So that was fairly amazing. All right, that's it for me, folks. You know where to find me on the platforms. I look forward to engaging with you. Again, welcome all the new Benzinga Pro members, and don't forget to reach out. See you on there.